Hello and welcome back to another edition of Try Your Hand. Today we will be making bath bombs. I'm Carol, the head of Teen Services here at the Antioch Library.
And I'm Brenda. I work in the teen department.
Very good. And we're going to start today off by just going over the supplies and materials that you'll be needing for this project. Okay, for the ingredients for our bath bombs. These are coconut oil bath bombs, so we will be using coconut oil. It's only 2 tablespoons of that. Oh, and I wanted to mention coconut oil, all of these ingredients, of course, are safe for your skin, but many of them have benefits, such as coconut oil. It's a moisturizer. Coconut oil can be used for a lot of things, but this is very good for your skin as a moisturizer. We will also be putting in cornstarch. That's just a stabilizer for the bath bomb. We also use Epsom salt in the recipe, and that's really good for relieving sore muscles. A lot of people just take Epsom salt baths, so that's another thing that's good for you in your bath while you're enjoying your bath bomb. We will be using also baking soda. And baking soda is also good for your skin. If it's itchy or irritated, baking soda will calm that on your skin. And these are fizzy bath bombs, so we are going to be putting in citric acid. And you know, it says acid, but it's safe for your skin. Citric acid is used for a whole lot of things, for softening water, for balancing pH, things like that. And this is a key ingredient. Like I said, these are fizzy bath bombs. So many of you, I'm sure, have made the volcano with baking soda and vinegar, and it all bubbles up and do fun things with that. Well, in our recipe, it's the citric acid that makes the fizzy in the bath bomb. It's the chemical reaction between the baking soda and the citric acid. So our goal is not to have that reaction while we're making the bath bomb, but once it hits the water in the tub, it will induce that reaction and cause the fizzy action there. Once we make our bath bomb, oh, and I almost forgot, a little bottle right here, peppermint oil, essential oils. You can use any essential oil, but for these we're doing peppermint. And I just want to mention, when you get yours, we put your essential oil in this pipette, and it's got a little glob of glue. What kind of glue, Brenda, was this?
It was a
hot glue gun. I got it. Okay. And you'll just be popping that off the top, and your oil is in there. Essential oils always need to have what's called a carrier. You don't ever put an essential oil directly on your skin, and a carrier is any type of oil. In this case, it will be our coconut oil. One last ingredient is mica powder. When you make bath bombs, you can use different types of colorant. You can use soap colorant. Some people use food coloring. I would not recommend that because food coloring does stain, so you'll get a nice, color on your bathtub, we don't put a lot of it in there, but it's just better to use a non-food coloring dye to prevent that type of staining. And what I like about the mica powder is that, as I mentioned, the citric acid and the baking soda hit water, it causes a reaction. You can create that reaction with any type of liquid, and it's just easier when you have a powdered color because it won't create that reaction. And mica powder, we have the non-toxic kind, cosmetic grade. So a lot of your cosmetics that are colored, lipstick, lip gloss, eyeshadow, blush, that type of thing, possibly have mica powder in them as well. Next, we'll go on to the supplies that you need. Now, you're fortunate because we have all of these ingredients measured out for you. If you were to do this at home without our handy little kit, you would need a 1 cup measuring cup, a 1/2 cup measuring cup, and a tablespoon measuring. And also something to melt the coconut oil in, because at room temperature, coconut oil is solid, but it has a very low melting point, so you can just warm that up just 20 seconds or so in the microwave and it will turn to liquid. So you would need the measuring cup or something to melt the coconut oil in your microwave. Obviously, you need a bowl to mix it with, and this is something we didn't provide, so you'll have to have this at home. And then something to stir it with. You can use a whisk or you can use a spoon. So mica powder can be used to color the bath bomb itself, or you can use it as a paint, which is what we'll be doing with our bath bombs here. And you'll be mixing the mica powder with alcohol, which isn't on the table, but we'll put the mica powder and the alcohol in a little cup, and then you can actually paint on your bath bomb to create designs, but we'll go over that later. When you're done with your bath bomb, it's important to protect the bath bomb from moisture like humidity in your house.
So it is important that you wrap it up as airtight as possible. We will be using some saran wrap, which you will have to scrounge around and find in your house. We are wrapping them up like candies, so we will show you how to do that a little later on in the video. We will be providing for you the 2 molds for the bath bombs. One is round, the other is disc-shaped. We will also be providing for you the curling ribbon. Okay, direct me, Carol.
All right, first we're going to start with the dry ingredients. The first part of the process is to mix the dry ingredients. So you will need 1 cup of baking soda. All the other dry ingredients then are 1/2 cup. So you'll take 1/2 cup of citric acid, 1/2 cup of cornstarch, okay, and 1/2 cup of Epsom salt. So that's the dry ingredients, and then just mix that up.
All right.
Okay, and next you'll be measuring 2 tablespoons of the coconut oil and putting it into your measuring cup or whatever you have to melt it with. Okay, so it doesn't take a lot to melt your coconut oil. I'm going, different microwaves, of course, are different powers. I'm going to start with 22 seconds. Okay, we'll take that out and check it, and it's just about melted. So I'm not going to heat it anymore. I'm just going to twirl it around in there and let it melt itself. Okay, maybe I'm going to have to do like another couple of seconds on there. Put it in for 4 seconds just to get the last bit melted. You don't want to make it hot, you just want it melted. Okay. It's got some little bits, but I'm thinking that that's going to be good because I don't want it to be, I just want it melted. I don't want it hot. Now you can add your essential oil into the coconut oil. Calls for about 10 drops of the essential oil. Now it's time to mix that with your dry ingredients. And you want to mix it very slowly so that you don't again, cause that chemical reaction between the baking soda and the citric acid. So you can like just pour it down the side of the bowl, just, you know, a little bit at a time, and you can mix this with your hands. And then once that gets mixed in, then add a little more and keep doing that until it's all mixed in. What you're looking for is something the consistency of like wet sand. Is the way your mixture should be once everything is mixed in. Some recipes also call for water in your mixture, like a teaspoon, no more than a teaspoon of water, but we're just using the coconut oil. I find that works well.
After some more experimentation with the bath bombs, we found out that using water is actually better for your bath bombs than not using water. We were having a little bit of trouble with the bath bombs that we made without water, and when we used water, all those problems went away. So we recommend that you actually use 1 tablespoon or teaspoon of water. Mix the water with your coconut oil and your essential oil.
You can feel it's starting to stick together just a little bit when you squeeze it, but it's not quite there yet.
Okay, so
Okay.
like that.
So now if you squeeze it with your hand, it will stick together. That's perfect. Now, the next step is to put it in your mold. I've got 2 molds here. Most commonly, you see round bath bombs, and we're giving you one of those. When you use a round mold, you'll fill both halves, overfill them, then put them together and squish it together until the mold connects. For our bath bombs, we're using a disc mold, like that. So you go ahead and fill the mold, but because we don't have 2 sides that we're compressing, you'll want to compact that real well. So I think it's best if you put it on the table and press it down, because you want it a nice solid bath bomb. And then just keep adding the mixture to it until it's up to the first little lip line. Yeah, so you want to clear that lip out, and then you can put, once it's good and solid, then you can put the lid on.
Okay.
Okay. Now, this is where you're going to have to be patient. But to speed the process up, I put the bath bomb in the freezer for 20 minutes, and that was good enough to be able to get it out of the mold without it coming apart. But then you're going to have to let it dry at least 4 hours. It's best to let it dry overnight. But by freezing it for 20 minutes, you're able to use up your whole recipe of bath bombs in a shorter amount of time. So we're going to go ahead and put that in the freezer. This recipe I was able to get 5 disc bath bombs out of. Okay, so it's been 20 minutes. The mold's been in the freezer. So Brenda, first thing you do is take the lid off.
Okay, lid is off.
Okay, put the palm of your hand over it, turn it upside down, and voila. There you have it, a bath bomb.
There you go. Now we have to make our plain white bath bombs into peppermint candies. In order to do that, we have to take a tablespoon of alcohol and a teaspoon of mica powder and mix those together until there are no dry lumps left in the solution and it's all well mixed. If you think that the solution is a little too thin, you can add a little bit more mica powder. If you think the solution is too thick, you can add a little bit more alcohol. I found that it was easier to paint on the bath bomb with a thinner solution, but Carol found it easier to paint with a slightly thicker one. So we did give you a little bit of extra of the alcohol and of the mica powders, so you can switch it up a little bit if you need to. In order to paint the bath bomb, we provided you with a brush. You can either dab it onto the bath bomb, or you can just kind of brush it on. I would say that you need a gentle hand with this, because if you press too hard, your bath bomb is going to start crumbling in those areas, which is why you see me both dabbing and brushing.
Okay, beautiful. Now you have a peppermint bath bomb.
Yep.
Now there's one more step to the process. So we've got our bath bomb made and it's decorated the way we want to. This is the final step. We're going to wrap it up. We want to do this so that it's not exposed to moisture in your house. So just take a strip of saran wrap and place your bath bomb on it. And kind of in the middle, and wrap it up so that you've got the excess of the saran wrap off the sides of the bath bomb.
Oh, okay.
And then take the sides and squeeze it, and then you can take any type of ribbon or twist tie, whatever you have. You can twist the saran wrap to seal it. Then you can take some ribbon, tie off the ends.
And trim the end of the saran wrap, and then curl the ends of the ribbons that you tied to the ends.
And there you have your peppermint candy bath bomb.
I hope you guys enjoyed making the bath bombs as much as we did. How did your bath bombs turn out? Let us know on our Facebook page or on our Instagram. On the next Try Your Hand, we will be making some holiday cookies. On the next Try Your Hand, we will be getting into the holiday spirit by making some holiday cookies. Don't forget to sign up because you're in for a sweet treat.